Here's Starfish! Domesticated dogs, despite hundreds of widely differing types, are all classified as Canis familiaris. I see no reasonable explanation for this other than they're all owned as pets, while other canines are not. When I was a small child, my parents started with cats, but got rid of them since my father developed severe allergies to cats. Ever since, we've had dogs instead. My favorite dog and pet of all time was a half Doberman Pinscher, half Labrador, an adult dog my father bought from people who were reported for keeping an oversized dog in violation of apartment rules. Therefore, they had to give her up. She was pre-named Casey. Whenever I'd lie down on the couch, Casey would climb upon me and stretch out. I'd basically be wearing a dog blanket. I chose the first two letters of my pen and screen name because of her. They are the letters K and C, which are a play on letters to sound like her name. They're not my initials. My parents' current dog is an apricot toy poodle, as I just showed her. Toy poodles came about through selective breeding from standard poodles. That was to acquire a dog for truffle hunting, truffles being a prized French food. Unlike larger dogs, daintily walking toy poodles could scent out and dig up truffles without smashing and or gobbling them up. Owning dogs can be an extremely rewarding experience. Animals bring joy into people's lives, especially companion animals. Some dogs are trained to help blind or paralyzed people. Some dogs rescue survivors of life-threatening tragedies. Others detect dangerous narcotics or bombs. Many dogs, by being companion animals, help to extricate people from panic attacks, whether originating from post-traumatic stress disorder or another cause. Some dogs are a matter of life or death, as they can mean the difference between someone committing suicide from drowning in depression or feeling hope. However, before purchasing a dog, make sure such a dog is allowed where you live. You must also consider the cost of food, veterinary bills, and yearly rabies shots. Administering regular heartworm medicine is also imperative, as just one mosquito bite can transmit heartworms. You should also supply toys and special treats. And you are legally responsible for everything your dog may do to other people, animals, or property. However, it's far less expensive to own dogs than to have children. While having children is prohibitively expensive for many, dog ownership is very affordable for most. Now be warned about something serious. In many cases, people have been either away from home or sleeping, and their dog was in the kitchen. The dog noticed something atop the stove, whether cake, cookies, etc., and jumped up. Their downward stroke turned on a stove knob full blast, which started a fire with something flammable on the stove and burned the house down. You must always supervise a larger dog when it's in the kitchen. Or you must remove the stove knobs while not in use and never store food or anything flammable on your stove. If I owned a dog, I would reject ear cropping and tail docking. Highly unnecessary and potentially cruel. If I ever got a dog, I'd get at least one other animal so they can keep each other company. Not necessarily another dog, since most dogs usually get along with birds, capybaras, cats, gerbils, guinea pigs, hamsters, lizards, and others. Ferrets as well. I'd always keep my dogs indoors with the exception of walking them. Another exception being if I had a fence surrounding my property so they could run around without running into the neighborhood. For those who insist on unsupervised outdoor dogs, you must either keep an identification tag on their collar or have them implanted with a microchip and have it registered. These are permanent. Unfortunately, they don't work like GPS trackers. There are GPS trackers for pets, but they must be attached to their collars, which can be removed by thieves, hence my concerns. Although some people may benefit from a vegetarian or vegan diet, doesn't mean a dog should be on one. Never do anything that might jeopardize your dog's health before consulting a veterinarian. And always keep harmful substances out of dogs' reach, including drying up any puddles of antifreeze which dogs or other animals might drink. And never give dogs or cats onions or chocolate, as it's bad for them. You may want to do further research into what's either good or bad for your pet or pets. General attitudes toward and treatment of dogs varies greatly throughout the world. Dogs as a food source is big business in China, South Korea, Vietnam, and Taiwan. There's also substantial evidence of dog meat consumption in India, Indonesia, and the Philippines. In every Muslim-dominated country, dogs are considered vermin or at least unclean. Even a blind person with a seeing eye dog is not allowed on public transportation. Dogs have been herded off cliffs to their death. This attitude comes from stupid Islamic religious texts that have no science or logic behind them. In some European countries, especially Russia and Ukraine, dogs wander the streets aimlessly. India has the highest number of stray dogs, over 30 million, who live in squalid conditions. Since they never get rabies shots, many have rabies, which people get after being bitten. Though dog fighting is illegal in more countries and regions throughout the world than ever, some jurisdictions do a shoddy job of enforcing it, and pockets of underground illegal dog fighting to the death exist in many countries. Other types of hidden abuse exist. So make sure to report anything suspicious to the proper authorities. Arguing that dogs only care about food is unfair. Most people only care about food or money, unlike dogs who generally only become vicious when cornered or they feel that their food source is threatened. Many people are sadistic without a cause. Yet apparently some animals never stop loving despite suffering abuse. Besides domestic dogs, there are numerous species of wild dogs. Such animals classified under the genus Canis are the coyote, Canis latrans, black-eared jackal, golden jackal, side-striped jackal, Abyssinian wolf, African golden wolf, gray wolf, which is Canis lupus, and the dingo. Extinct species of Canis are the Kenai Peninsula wolf, Newfoundland wolf, Bernard's wolf, and the dire wolf, which lived in North America and is thought to have had the strongest bite force of all canines. Under the genus Vulpes, we have the Arctic fox, Bengal fox, Blandford's fox, Cape fox, Corsac fox, fennec fox, kit fox, pale fox, silver foxes, and red foxes, both of which are just a color variation of Vulpes vulpes, Ruppel's fox, swift fox, and Tibetan sand fox. Under other various genera, we have the short-eared dog, crab-eating fox, maned wolf, dhole, Falkland Islands wolf, Colpeo, Darwin's fox, hoary fox, pampas fox, Sechuran fox, African hunting dog, raccoon dog, bat-eared fox, bush dog, gray fox, and island gray fox. Most wild dog species are highly endangered, numbering only several hundred worldwide, while there are too many humans, over 7 billion. And throughout my life, I found animals to be nicer than humans, who will happily stab you in the back. So saving wild dog species is an imperative. So donate to organizations such as the African Wild Dog Conservancy and Endangered Wolf Center. All canines ultimately owe their existence to God, the creator of every original canine species. In fact, quoting Romans 1:20, "For the invisible things from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." Since dogs are part of creation, God must have some dog-like qualities among many other qualities. In fact, God has been known as the Hound of Heaven. This idea took off from Francis Thompson's poem titled The Hound of Heaven, published in 1893. And cruelty to dogs and other animals is linked to cruelty to humans, and kindness to animals is linked to kindness to humans. Think on these things.